A former missionary and pastor tied to Greg Laurie's megachurch is now at the center of a disturbing lawsuit, and his response might surprise you. Harvest Christian Fellowship, one of California's largest megachurches led by Pastor Greg Laurie. A former missionary and pastor connected to this church, Paul Havsgaard, is now facing lawsuits accusing him of horrific abuse in Romania. And in a surprising twist, Havsgaard himself has written a letter pleading for financial help to fight these allegations. He led mission programs in Romania that were supposed to help street children. Paul Havsgaard, who worked at the Riverside, California church for about 20 years, went on to start 10 orphanages in Romania in the late 1990s and early 2000s. He allegedly used them to SA scores of children. The SA was savage and prolific, according to the lawsuits, terrorizing the boys and girls who came to Harvest homes because they were desperate and the ministry promised them hamburgers and a safe place to sleep. "I know what God wants," Havsgaard allegedly told children as young as 8. "What I want, God wants." But now, multiple lawsuits accuse him of SA minors in those very programs. Two Romanian men, Marian Barbu and Mihai Constantin Petcu, filed lawsuits in U.S. District Court, claiming Havsgaard abused and trafficked children at a shelter he ran in Bucharest for nearly a decade. The lawsuits also name Harvest Christian Fellowship and Greg Laurie, alleging negligence in failing to prevent the abuse. Another lawsuit describes Havsgaard as perhaps one of the most prolific pedophiles alive in America today, accusing him of using food and promises of education to lure children into his orphanages. In response to these lawsuits, Havsgaard circulated a letter asking for financial support. Here are some of the most striking parts. "I have repeatedly denied all of these horrific accusations and attested to my innocence. I am not an attorney, nor can I afford to hire an attorney. My wife and I live paycheck to paycheck on Social Security and my veteran benefits." These words are powerful, but they also raise serious questions. Is this a desperate plea from a man wrongly accused, or an attempt to deflect from devastating allegations? The plaintiffs describe years of SA, manipulation, and trauma. They claim Havsgaard used his position as a missionary to gain trust, only to exploit vulnerable children. One victim said he was promised food and shelter, but instead endured horrific SA that left lasting scars. These accounts paint a chilling picture of how faith and charity can be twisted into tools of exploitation. In his letter, he dismisses all the allegations as malicious fiction. He blames the Romanian children he once fed, clothed, and housed, and the law firm representing them in the court. "Everything I am accused of in these lawsuits are blatant, ugly lies manufactured for one purpose, to achieve a payout," Havsgaard wrote in the letter. The former street kids behind all of these lawsuits are only one part of the kids we were able to help, and it is all about money for them. It has always been all about money to them, when I was still there and now. This lawsuit wasn't an isolated complaint, it's part of a growing wave of legal filings. According to reporting, as many as 22 former street children have now filed suits alleging abuse in connection with the Romanian mission program, growing into a coordinated legal effort. One plaintiff described the Romanian orphanage program as a madhouse run by a sadistic pedophile, which underscores the severity of the allegations. Harvest Christian Fellowship and Greg Laurie are not accused of direct abuse, but of negligence. The lawsuits argue that the church failed to properly oversee Havsgaard's work abroad. This raises broader questions about accountability in megachurches. How much responsibility should leaders bear for the actions of their missionaries? Harvest Christian Fellowship and Greg Laurie's team have responded to the lawsuits by calling them a form of financial extortion. They deny wrongdoing and have said some claims mischaracterize their connection to the former pastor. On one hand, Havsgaard's letter appeals to loyalty, faith, and his years of ministry. On the other, the lawsuits present detailed, harrowing accounts of abuse. This tension between faith and accountability is at the heart of the story. Supporters may see Havsgaard as a victim of false accusations, while survivors see him as a predator who used religion as cover. This case raises serious questions about accountability and institutional oversight. Critics have pointed to internal reports suggesting that concerns about Havsgaard's conduct were known as early as the early 2000s, but were not acted upon in a timely way. Whether these claims will be resolved in court and how Harvest's leaders will respond through litigation remains to be seen. This isn't just a church scandal. It touches on broader issues about transparency in religious organizations, victims' rights, and how institutions respond when someone with authority is accused of abuse. Public reaction has been intense. Many commenters online question how someone facing serious SA allegations could seek help from supporters to fund a legal defense. Others argue due process is an essential right for anyone, even when allegations are severe. The truth will ultimately be decided in court. But it forces us to confront uncomfortable realities. The vulnerability of children, the responsibility of churches, and the danger of blind trust in spiritual leaders. This story is still unfolding. As multiple lawsuits proceed through federal court, and as more details about these allegations and responses emerge, we'll continue to bring you updates. What do you think about this case? Should religious institutions be held more accountable? Comment below. What do you think? Is Havsgaard's plea for help a cry of innocence or a manipulative tactic? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into stories that matter.